Hi children, it's Grandma Carla, and it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and we have a lot more reading to do in the stories of the Pilgrims. So, today we're reading about the voyage of the Mayflower. When the provisions and the boxes of other goods had been moved from the Speedwell to the larger boat, the Mayflower started once more. Now she carried 100 passengers besides her sailors. By today's standards, the Mayflower was a very small boat in which to cross the ocean. The cabin was badly crowded, and there was only one small deck. At that time, no one had thought of making a boat go by steam or diesel. The Mayflower had large white sails, and when the wind was good, she sped over the water like a great seabird. But sometimes there was no wind, and the little vessel lay still upon the quiet water. Sometimes the sky grew black with storm clouds, and the fierce winds swept down upon the ship. Then the sailors quickly bound the sails close to the mast, but still the vessel was often driven far off her course. No wonder it took so long to cross the ocean in those days. In one of these great storms, a young man almost lost his life. For many days, the passengers had kept in the cabin because of the weather. The deck was wet and slippery. The rough winds swept across it, and the waves washed over it. It was not safe for any of the passengers there. But John Halland did not like to stay quietly in the crowded cabin, so he climbed the narrow stairs and stepped out upon the slippery deck. How wild and terrible the storm was! The waves were almost as high as the mast. Sometimes the Mayflower rode high upon the tops of the waves. At other times it was quite hidden between them. John saw a great wave about to break over the ship. He tried to reach the cabin door, but was too late. With a crash like thunder, the wave struck the ship and swept away one of the masts. John seizing the railing with both hands, but the wave was stronger than he. It flung him into the sea. "Help! Oh, help!" he cried. "Help!" But his voice could not be heard above the storm. He fought with the waves and tried to swim, but it was of no use. The water closed over his head. Who could help him now? Over the side of the ship hung some ropes, dragged down by the falling mast. John saw one of these long ropes trailing through the water. The rope was close at hand, and he reached out and he grasped it. Hand over hand, he pulled himself toward the ship. His strength was fading fast. Would no one come to his rescue? Some sailors on the Mayflower saw John struggling for his life. "Hold on, John!" they shouted as they pulled on the rope. John did hold on, though his hands were stiff with cold and the waves beat him back from the ship. Slowly, he was lifted from the water and strong hands reached down to help him. At last, he lay on the deck, faint but safe. Here are your sentences. And it says, copy the sentences that are true about your story. All ready? The Mayflower was a very large ship. If it's true, copy it. If it's not true, don't copy it. The Mayflower was a very large ship. The ship moved when wind blew the sails. The ship moved when wind blew the sails. The sails had to be taken down when a storm began. The sails had to be taken down when a storm began. Many people saw John Halland fall in the ocean. Many people saw John Halland fall in the ocean. John grabbed a rope hanging from the ship. John grabbed a rope hanging from the ship. Okay, remember, only copy the ones that are true, because some of those are not true. And you might have to listen to the story again to remember which one is which. And here is a picture of the Mayflower sailing on the ocean. And that is the end of that one. And next time we're going to read Water Babies. This is Grandma Carla, and I love you.